Okay, let's just jump right in. The real estate market right now, it's tough. There's no doubt about it. Margins are getting squeezed, the pressure's on. But what if I told you that one CEO sees this exact moment as a massive opportunity? Dan Duffy, who's the CEO of United Real Estate, he calls it a perfect storm, and his whole strategy for navigating it pretty much flips conventional wisdom right on its head.
So just think about it for a second. When things get tight and profits are shrinking, what's the first thing you hear leaders talk about? What's the number one goal that always seems to come to mind?
And yeah, the answer you hear over and over, the one that seems so logical, is this: agent productivity. You double down on the team you've got, you train them, you push them, you try to squeeze more out of the people who are already there. It seems to make perfect sense, right? Well, here's the kicker. According to Dan Duffy, that logical answer is completely wrong. He says that waking up every single day focused on driving more productivity from each agent means you are chasing, and I'm quoting him here, the wrong metric. Now, that is a bold statement that basically challenges the entire industry's playbook. Okay, so if productivity isn't the main goal, then what is? Well, for Duffy, the entire strategy is about positioning over productivity. And the key to understanding this whole thing is what he calls leverage math. It's all about thinking way bigger than just small incremental gains. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The productivity play on the left, let's be honest, it's a grind. You spend a ton of time, energy, and money for these tiny marginal returns. But then you look over at the positioning play. This is where that leverage math just clicks. Instead of trying to squeeze another 5% out of your current team, what if you just onboarded 1,000 new, already productive agents? The scale is just monumental. You're not just adding to your output anymore, you're multiplying it. That's the leverage. So here's the crucial point. Duffy isn't saying productivity doesn't matter. Of course it does. But he's arguing that it's the result, not the driver. It's the exhaust gas, as he calls it, that just naturally happens when you have a healthy, growing company with the right momentum and scale. If you build the right system, productivity will take care of itself. So how do you build a system like that? Well, the first pillar of this whole positioning strategy is what they call the growth engine. And this is all about their proven, repeatable system for acquiring and integrating really large, market-dominant brokerages. And this gives you their playbook. They are not interested in little incremental acquisitions. Nope, they are specifically going after these big, established firms with 1,000 to 2,000 agents. The goal isn't just growth. It's what they call step function growth, making these massive leaps forward. And they say they've basically turned this into a science, and they have the success stories to prove it. But this whole operational machine, it wasn't built overnight. The recent market slowdown actually forced them to hit pause on their M&A game. But instead of just sitting on their hands, they used that lull strategically. They completely overhauled their tech, their operations, their back office systems. They retooled the entire machine so that when the time was right, they'd be ready to hit the accelerator. Okay, so that big-time growth is one part of the puzzle. But what about that constant pressure on profits? Well, the second pillar of United's strategy is the marketplace solution, and it's designed to be a direct answer to that industry-wide margin erosion. So what is a skilled marketplace? The concept is actually pretty brilliant. The brokerage uses its massive size, all those agents, to negotiate huge discounts on essential tools and services. Then it offers those things to its agents, all in one easy place. So the agent saves money and time, and boom, the brokerage creates a brand new, highly scalable revenue stream for itself. It's a total win-win. And you might be asking, does this actually work? Well, let's look at the numbers. Just last year, their marketplace generated this much revenue for United, a pretty solid start. But the real story is the trajectory. This year, the budget is projected to hit $1.6 million. We're talking about a nearly threefold increase. That shows you just how fast this margin repair engine is scaling up and becoming a core part of the business. And it's exactly this kind of long-term thinking that brings us back to the big picture. And that big picture is Duffy's perfect storm. See, it's not just one thing. It's the fact that all of these strategic pieces, all these years of preparation, are now crashing in to a really unique market opportunity. Duffy talks about this piece of advice he once got from the former CEO of Cargill, who told him never waste a good downturn to make the changes you need to make. And for United, that's exactly what the recent market lull was. It was their chance to rebuild, retool, and get ready for whatever was coming next. So these are the elements of that storm, all converging right now. They've got their capital structure aligned for growth, their marketplace engine is scaling like crazy, their M&A machine is fired up and running again, and, this is crucial, the entire industry is consolidating. It's what Duffy calls a dislodging moment, where even the most loyal brokerage owners are starting to look at new options. The preparation has officially met the opportunity.
Which really just leaves us with one final big question to think about. And honestly, this applies to any business, not just real estate. Are you spending all your energy trying to squeeze just a little more productivity out of what you already have? Or are you focused on positioning your entire organization to catch that next big wave?